What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Rod Steele with another Transformers review. Back-to-back reviews tonight. And the first little review I just did was on the Little Universe Transformers. But I'm going to throw in a G1 Transformer. Yes, this is G1. This is him here. This is Generation 1 Double Cross. Now, most people probably don't even remember this piece. Because he wasn't in the animated series. He didn't come into the series until after the 4th season, and then it was only produced in Japan. But he is a monsterbot, and he is a monster at that. What can you say about it? It's a G1 Transformer. The legs aren't that great looking on it. It's got really weird arms. It's got these monster arms, but then they're kind of it's got everything's dragging on them. But then it's got actual like human hands, but they're furry. He's got these robotic legs, but then they're kind of more humanoid or animal-like down here. So he's got half and half there. He's got 2 heads. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the bio story because I didn't really give him a bio. But Double Cross, basically, nobody likes him because nobody can trust him. Because, well, he has 2 heads, which means he has 2 minds. So you could offer, he might say he could do, I ask him to do one thing, and this motherfucker here might well say, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. Well, this piece of shit over here will say, no, fuck you, I ain't doing it. So basically, you're fucked with him. And from what I read on him, he's not that strong of a character. I guess he was pretty weak. So all in all, I guess he was a pretty shitty Transformer. He wasn't that good. He wasn't reliable, and he wasn't that strong. So what you have is a monsterbot. But he does have this little switch on the back. Let's see if it lights up yet. You have this little gimmick here where you push on his back, and little sparks fire up in his back, in his chest. Now I'm guessing that's supposed to be him breathing fire. I don't know what it's really supposed to be, but that's pretty much that. I remember having a lot of plastic toy guns back in the day, and they all kind of had that gimmick. I used to sit there for hours fucking sparking this fucking thing until the thing never sparked again. But anyway, it kind of reminds me of like a Dinobot, really. He's kind of like a Dinobot, you know, even though he's a 2-headed monster, and he's a monsterbot. He's got a really thick, fat tail. He doesn't stand bad. I mean, like I said, for a G1, I guess he's not all that bad. Both his heads move, you know, they spin around. He does have a rub-on the back here, on the side of his wing. So, which just shows that he is basically a G1 character. And if you rub it, it still shows up Autobot. Now, in the transformation, which is fairly simple, move his arms down, you want to fold his wings in, as so. Knees come down. Obviously you can see where this is going. What a monster this guy is, I guess. I don't know. Fairly easy Transformer. All G1s kind of were. And there you have Double Cross. Now, come to think of it, it just dawned on me why he's called Double Cross. Because I guess he kind of double crossed you because he's got 2 brains. Now, even in his robot mode, his 2 brains are still active. Which kind of reminds me of, I just got done talking about Bruticus. Where basically everybody vied for control on that guy. But in his robot mode, it's not that bad. I actually like his head. Kind of reminds me of a Jetfire head from like the new Classics line. It's got the nice blue visor and stuff. I mean, it's nothing painted on it. I mean, it's just a plain white face with a blue visor. He doesn't have any hands. They're just the dragon's head, and yes, his mouth still do open and close. His legs are fused together, so he's a brick. He can walk like Ultra Magnus does. He's still got his little gimmick button on the front of him, which kind of just sticks out, so it looks like he has an extended belly button. He can do a pretty cool fucking guitar slide across the stage. If you have a guitar in his hand, he looks like he can do a pretty good power slide. But as for posability, that's about it. He's going to stand there. He's pretty much going to collect dust. I wanted to review him because, you know what, like I said, he is a character that no one really knows about. He's an unwanted transformer that no one really cares for. You could pick this guy up cheap if you really want him. I mean, if you're going to collecting G1 Transformers, well then this is a nice cheap one that you can pick up that's an authentic G1 Transformer. Granted, he wasn't in the cartoon. And, you know, it's just something, you know. I have a special place in my heart for unwanted Transformers that never got the recognition. And in all actuality, he's not really that bad of a Transformer. To me, he looked like he'd be a lot stronger and everything else. You know, he just looks like he'd be a badass motherfucker. Oh, and he did come with a gun. It was a rust ray blaster. So he actually, his fucking weapon was, he rusted people out. That was his fucking weapon. It wasn't even a blaster, it actually corroded them. Until they got WD-40, and then they were fine again. But, all in all, another G1 Transformer that, by nowadays our standards are just, this thing is a chunk of shit. But, because it's G1, it'll always have a place in my heart, because this guy has seen many dirt holes in his life, and has been thrown around a lot, and look at him. He still has all his moves, and you know the great thing about him, his joints are all, listen to that, his joints are super tight yet. After all these years of abuse, his joints are super tight yet. They're tighter than some Transformers I get nowadays. Like the animated line where their fucking legs are too heavy and they fucking flop around. This guy's joints are still miraculously very tight. So like I said, if you're collecting G1, and you're not all about getting the big name Transformers that everybody has to have and you have to spend a shitload of money on, pick this guy up. He's an alright G1 Transformer. And you can get him cheap. So you can take a place on the shelf and collect dust like the rest. But anyway, that's all I have to say about G1 Double Cross. This has been Rod Steele with a Transformers review. Adios, muchachos.